Okay, well hopefully I'll be able to remember everything in this one single video. This just booted into a track mode, and the menu that you're greeted with shows you every single possible theme that's installed on here. And I'm pretty sure this is from Ray's image, which I downloaded and used Linux and stuff, and I cut the image in half immediately, so this is only 64 gigs worth. Okay, so I skipped right to the attract mode setup screen because I just wanted to cycle through some of these themes here because they're really beautiful. The folks that worked on this and helped produce these are definitely awesome. One of the best parts about attract mode naturally is the fact that you can that you get video. I'm not sure why this particular image seems to hang sometimes, but it does recover pretty momentarily. I don't know if you noticed when I hit the button to the right, it didn't go to the right immediately. But some of these themes did not scale well with the resolution on here, which I think is 800 by 480. One of the highlights of this model is actually, if you see that little door right there, let me see if I can get it open while we're here, and if there's enough light for you to see in there. Oh, there is. Good. What you're looking at there is the jumper for HDMI that provides the signal to the screen. If you look in there, you can see the USB port, and if I can get the light to reflect on it somehow, you can see the headphone jack in there too, which if you don't know is another way to output video. So you have that, and I guess since we're going that route, there's your charging port, and a more recent addition, there is now a USB port on the side, which is just tapped into one of the headers that became unavailable because on the Pi, right behind the thumbstick, two of the ports are blocked, so I tapped in there. This is a true analog joystick, by the way. It's not wired so that it's just another digital. The D-pad is actually sensed as buttons, same thing with the start and everything. And in time, I'm going to incorporate a couple more features like that charging light and the ability for it to sense whether headphones are plugged in and then it disables. Steve Sherrod was working on some of that. I just haven't had the time to work on the teensy code using what I've got now and then bringing that stuff in. But yeah, it's really awesome. The community has done an excellent job on creating all these themes that all look really good. I had to make some edits to the configuration for advanced MAME. I'm used to using a different version. And all of these should have video except for the PlayStation ones that I added, just because I didn't add it through FTP. The wireless is enabled. You switch back into emulation station to connect the Wi-Fi. Also, I have the sound turned way down so that this actually sounds decent, because the two speakers that are on the back are actually quite loud for this little setup. I think it's a 2.5 watt, 2 watt or 2.5 watt amplifier. And I tell you what, this little 5-inch screen actually is pretty nice. And I think after, oh no, there's TurboGrafx. For a 5-inch screen, it's got some decent resolution. Now eventually some of these are going to start jumping around because I removed, like the question mark there is because it was for a different system, most likely PlayStation or something. But I'd say about 3/4 of the themes still worked. Now here's one that didn't. I think this is Final Burn Alpha, and the Superheroes one. And see, you've got some stuff missing here because I removed the system to bring it down to a 30 or a 64 gigabyte image because I didn't feel like paying for a 128 gigabyte at the moment. But so far the performance seems pretty good. I'm not really sure what's up next as far as additional changes that's going to take place. These the D-pad and these two buttons here are printed in NinjaFlex. These are 12mm buttons with keycaps, and that's just a regular, basically Xbox 360 analog thumbstick, and internally it's wired to a Teensy. All the buttons and everything is wired to a Teensy, so you can do all sorts of fun stuff with that. But yeah, that's the overview of this here device.